Ice cream conversation. Ice cream conversation. Forever on the grind all day, every day. Ice cream combos, always real, they never play. Download the podcast, listen on any day. Why didn't I do this sooner? Only thing you ever say. Xaviera, best host of all time. All of the faithful listeners will say they never lie. Check every story they run, like me with the rhymes. When other shows report anything, it should be a crime. Entertainment news, yeah, I gotta get mine from ICC, and you should be inclined to do the same if you got half a mind. I do co-sign this lady to shine like Frankenstein. Cut it the day design. IceCreamCombos.com. Tune in, yeah. This influence by IceCreamCombos.com.
Welcome to the Ice Cream Convos Podcast, where we serve delicious scoops of entertainment and celebrity news. I'm your host, Xaviera.
And I'm your co-host, Karla.
And as always, we thank you for tuning into today's show. We welcome you to be a part of the show by dropping down in the comments wherever you listen to share your thoughts, views, and opinions. So, Karla, how you doing, girl?
I'm good. Can't complain. Starting to get a little hot. Starting to get 80. Yeah. Listen, I'm so happy though it's finally getting warm because it's kind of shaky up top. Like some days you wake up, you got to wear a heavy hoodie, and then other days, you just have a t-shirt on. And I'm like, man, old folks will be like, that's pneumonia weather, but I'm good.
Yep.
I'm pretty
good.
Right,
so y'all up here approaching cotton draws weather?
Yeah, definitely. Already, it's that time of year. Listen.
Grab your cotton panties.
You have to drop that PSA in about a week or two. You always got to drop that for the
because we don't want y'all out here.
Don't know. Yeah.
Remember seafood shanty?
Oh no, you did.
Some of y'all up top might remember seafood shanty.
Oh my gosh.
Don't want no seafood shanty. Get your cotton draws, ladies. Okie dokie.
Yeah, please do. But what's up with you?
It's been cool. Listen, my daughter has one more day of school left and we will begin our summer. So I'm excited about that. I'm still in the process of planning a Sweet 16. Yeah. And I'm still in recovery mode. So, it's up and stuck, baby. It is up and stuck. Now you can take that however way you want it, but it's up and it's stuck. So, but for the most part, I won't complain. There's a million and one things we can complain about, but I'm not going to.
Yes, because most of y'all don't give a damn anyway.
How about that?
Let's just keep it.
How about that? When people ask you how you doing, they don't mean it. It's just light chatter. Don't waste nobody time telling them how you really feel.
Straight up. That is so true. And some people don't ask them how they're doing because they gonna unload on you.
That's
some of
me.
y'all be unloading.
Don't ask me.
Nah. I'm talking about a different unload. I'm talking about, and you ain't unloading. You do what best friends do because everybody needs somebody to talk to. I'm talking about them ones. You be like, "How you doing?" And they start off with the money problems.
They start off with a chow. When you get that chow, act like somebody calling your phone. Escape while you can. As soon as you start out, chow, you're about to get it.
Yes. But no, you never. We do what best friends do. Everybody needs somebody to vent to. But some of y'all be out here dumping. Just dumping on people, and please be mindful of that because it's like you be dumping and suppose they already got a heavy load.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying. That's all.
Don't send nobody to their prayer closet because of you. There are things out here called journals, diaries, therapists.
I know that's right.
A plethora of options for you, but just don't be dumping. Because I dumped on somebody this week. Speaking of dumping. Took my grandbaby to the Garfield screening and ran into one of my friends who is like becoming like one of the biggest movie critics and TV critics in Atlanta. Okay. She was like, "Hey girl, how you doing?" I was like, "Child, I'm out here fighting for my life." She was like, "What happened?" That's all you got to do is ask me what happened.
And there it is. Listen.
I had her cornered in the bathroom, like, and then Google, right? Let me tell you what happened after that. So then first it was the lawsuit, then it was Google. And then, after that. I know she was like, I really have to pee. But that's your bad, girl. That's your bad.
I think she might have been one of the ones that genuinely like wanted to hear what's going on.
I don't know, but that was your bad for that. For asking. Sorry. Sorry.
So how was the screening? Garfield.
It was cool. It was cool. Okay. But listen, movie studios, stop making movies that are geared towards children. Stop making them so goddamn long. Oh. Y'all know these babies don't have no long attention span.
Yeah, true that.
Listen, an hour is pushing it. Mm-hmm. Anything over an hour, you ODing.
Yeah. 45 minutes tops.
45 minutes tops. It could be a short film. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, true that. You have a good point.
Okay. Because as soon as Eve started turning over in the seat and get up on her knees in the movie seat, I said, oh, it's up. Here we go. Y'all time done ran out.
Yeah.
Y'all clock done struck 12. Yeah. It's time to go.
Especially this generation of kids too. Like I hate to say it, but especially they have devices where they can go to any part of any film or anything that they want. Like, come on, they want y'all to give it to us. Hurry up. Let's
hurry up. And I don't know what it is about animated films that is like melatonin for me. I think I'll be fighting for my life in those animated films.
Girl. That's why I'd be so glad. Like, shout out to Carlos for that, because every film there was, he went through it. I'd be like, I can't do it. I don't know if it's because as an adult, I'm getting older. I hate to sound like this, but I just can't do animated anymore.
Oh my gosh, man, it's melatonin. I mean, they're fighting for my life. Fighting for my life. But anyway, shout out to all the marketing companies who send me screenings. I promise I won't go to sleep in y'all screenings. I promise. All right. So, Karla, we do have a lot to unpack today, of course. We would be remiss if we didn't address the whole Diddy and Cassie situation. I do also have an update in the Kobe Minor case, the case with the Atlanta police officer who shot the Lyft driver.
Okay.
I have an interesting and disturbing update in that case. We also are going to spin the block and give you an update on the teacher who I have now deemed Mr. AKA unbraid my hair. So we do have an update on him, and we're going to tell you about this Cameron interview on CNN that has everybody buzzing this morning. We're going to tell you who popped out with Donald Trump last night. Lord have mercy. But it's an interesting time out here in these internet streets. So we're going to go ahead and take an early break. And then when we come back, we're going to jump in and unpack all of this Diddy and Cassie stuff. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. Karla, Friday, I had to call you.
Yes.
So on Friday, I'm doing my work. I'm chasing waterfalls instead of sticking to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to in these internet streets. And I'm just posting content and hoping y'all come read it because I'm in recovery mode, right? Mm-hmm. And I get a bat signal from one of the ICC friends. And the bat signal had no caption. It was nothing but a URL. Mm-hmm. So when I looked, I saw the words Diddy, Cassie, 2016, assault in hotel. And I said, oh my God, I ain't never clicked a link so fast in my life. I was like, I know this ain't what I think it is. Mm-hmm. I clicked the link and I go in, and now I'm scanning the article. The first thing I looked to see was how long ago was this published, right? Mm-hmm. Because, time is of the essence and with certain stories. So I'm like, how long ago was this posted? So I found out how long ago it was posted, maybe like 5 minutes. So shout out to the ICC friend who alley-ooped that story to me, because I literally was lunching. I was writing about Clay from Love is Blind, child. That's how bad I was lunching. And I go in, I hit play, and I see Cassie trying to make her way to the elevator barefoot. She stops. She tries to put on her shoes, and Diddy comes running out of a hotel room with nothing but a towel around his waist. And when he gets to Cassie, he knocks her to the ground. And when he knocks her to the ground, she's almost like laying there a little bit like she's knocked out. And then he starts kicking her. And I'm just like, this is not... Like, it was almost like I read the lawsuit. I've heard the rumors over the years. I've heard everything there is to hear about Diddy. I've heard Gene Deal tell me everything. I heard the other bodyguard tell me everything. Freddie P done told me that Diddy trash. Everybody has told me Diddy is trash. Okay, I get it. I know it. I felt like Diddy was trash in my spirit. But it's like, girl, let me tell you about this movie. And then you actually sit down and watch.
You get the visual. You actually see it. Yeah.
Yes. And so when I saw that visual, I just bust out in the ugly cry. And I don't know why I bust out in the ugly cry. I mean, maybe it was just the empathy and the sympathy that I had for Cassie, but it's not like I was triggered or anything because I've never been a victim of domestic violence. But it just, that thing broke my heart so bad.
Oh yeah. It's disgusting.
It broke my heart so bad. And it didn't break my heart in the sense of like, oh my gosh, Diddy let me down. I didn't expect this of you. It broke my heart for Cassie. Like that Cassie went through this. That Cassie, because you could almost tell by her demeanor, she was used to that. And I mean,
absolutely. That was definitely
you know
like the 50th time. Yeah.
It wasn't like oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this to me. Right. It was like, okay, time to go into go into protective mode.
You're small. Yep, she just small up. You had to guard like that. When you said you saw her like she was knocked out. No, that's the I surrender.
Like I'm not trying.
It was obvious she was leaving.
Like I ain't even trying to fight back.
Yeah.
So then he kicks her a couple times. Then he grabs her and starts dragging her. Then I guess he takes her belongings back to the hotel room. Then he comes back out again. He gets her in a corner. I don't know what he did to her in the corner. Then he's throwing stuff at her. And
it's like a glass vase or something, right?
Yes. And when I tell you that the way she detailed that incident in her lawsuit was literally like verbatim, almost like they watched the tape and was like, and then this happened, and then this happened. Because the recollection of it was so like literally the detailed oriented recollection of it in the lawsuit. And I'm just like, this poor girl. And then I start thinking back to, remember I found that picture when the lawsuit came out and I was like, yo, remember the time that Cassie said she was in Dubai and she had a ATV accident? And I went back and I searched and I searched and I searched and I found that photo. Bestie, she got a cut on her head. Her lip is busted. Everything. You look at that picture. That's not an ATV accident. That's right. I got beat up.
Yeah.
And how convenient would it be to say I had an ATV accident in Dubai? Because then no one is going to expect you to have medical records in the U.S. for said accident.
Right.
No type of report for said accident because it happened out of the country. So this man has been brutalizing this girl. I mean, she's already documented it. But for us to see it, that's when it felt like the table was shaking. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, we done heard this stuff. We know we have a grand idea that he's trash. But it was like the moment everyone saw it is when everyone became outraged.
Yeah, because it's still just hearsay until you see it. Because we don't know them personally. Yeah. You know you understand what I'm saying? Unless you were involved in the situation or the people personally, it's kind of just like hearsay. It's like with anything else, until you actually see it. When you get a visual and you see something, it's no way of going around it. And then also you have to remember that he also denied these things. So you had, we've never seen it before. All we have is Cassie's word. And I hate the fact that like, I'm not saying
his word against her word,
his word against her word. And then, now that's why this was so funny when they say everything in the dark will always come to light. Like,
amen.
That's like one of the perfect examples of it, because it's like, we all kind of knew. I felt bad because like I'm all over the place, but for those who were against Cassie, because you had a small,
absolutely money grab.
Yes, I hope this teaches people a lesson also that like, until you really, really know, don't discredit what someone says. And as far as I'm concerned, when someone says they're abused, I'm believing it until I see differently. I'm not saying I'm attacking anyone, but I'm just, because I feel like for you to come out and say that you were abused, there was something there. Whether it happened 50 times or it happened once, it was something there for you to, because no one wants to admit that that's not a comfortable thing to do, to say I've been beat up. or I've been abused, or I've been whatever your type of abuse is.
Right.
So, but it was I tried to avoid it, but it was like so hard because
wasn't it hard to avoid?
And it was the way he kicked. Like, what was for me is that kick said a lot. Number one, I knew he never did it. For him to do that the way he did it, that's been done. So he has beaten her. That was probably like the 50th, 60th time.
Mm-hmm. He was too comfortable with it.
Yeah. My question to you though is like, do you feel like, and I think Lunel said it, if that wasn't Cassie, I'm not gonna say J-Lo because I think that's what Lunel said, because of course Lunel said the reason why I'm saying J-Lo is because J-Lo is like in the limelight too. Like, do you think it, like if this was, let's say, just say a white woman, a random, just not someone of celebrity status, just a white woman, do you think the hotel takes the money, or he easily pays this off and we don't hear about this until how many years later? Because I feel like there's other people that should be like, why aren't the people at the hotel accountable for this? Like,
yeah,
not reporting. Like right now, I feel like, wouldn't she have? Well, I don't know, statute of limitations, I guess it's up, but it's like she would have had a lawsuit against the hotel.
Word. I from what I understand, that hotel is not
even open anymore, right?
Yeah, because I would have spun the block on that hotel too.
Yes.
I would have spun the block on the hotel. I even would have spun the block on, well, she did in her lawsuit. She did name other members, because it wasn't just Diddy. It was other people on his team, the record label. She got all of them.
Yeah.
That's why he had to hurry up and settle it, because she did get it. She listed everybody.
And he knew he had that. You know what else too? Now it makes sense that he settled, because he knew that tape. He knew that footage was around.
So let me ask you this.
Other footage.
Let's start at the beginning. Let's start not at the beginning, but let's start at the beginning of this particular video.
Okay.
So the rumor is that he paid about $50,000 to have this video suppressed. Right. I don't know if he paid $50,000 to have it suppressed. I believe it makes more logical sense that he got possession of it. That way he can control where this video goes.
But then how do you get possession? I'm so confused, because this is like 2016, right? Mm-hmm. Don't the average, like I would imagine hotel security cam footage goes to a cloud.
In 2016, I believe it was still them VHS tapes. Remember them old movies when they go back to the convenience store and they pull the VCR tape out? 2016, I don't know if we're talking. Yeah.
But the type of hotel, then we're not talking like no.
We're talking like almost is nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We're talking nearly 20 years ago. I still believe, depending on the sophistication and technology at that particular time, it may have still been a VHS tape.
Okay.
A hard drive at the very least.
Okay.
Flash drive, hard drive. That quality was good. Yeah, that quality was giving beta. I was thinking remember beta?
You did.
That quality was.
You got a good point about how far it goes. So that makes sense. I'm like, okay, I'm convinced. Like, I'm like you. I think he had possession. I think it was definitely a possession thing. Like,
okay, so he paid $50,000. He got possession of the tape.
Right.
Now, the timing of the release of the tape.
I
feel like
strategic.
I feel like Homeland Security found that tape when they raided his house.
I do too. It had to be. You know what? You know when I really believed it was definitely them, because they didn't go to TMZ.
You about to make me get up and walk away from this microphone.
You understand?
You about to make me get up and walk away from this microphone.
That's when I was like, nah.
Government feeding government.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are so right. Because
and also government. We wanted to also now, because to me, the whole goal is to taint the jury.
Amplify.
Entertain the jury if we get this RICO if we get off on this RICO. Right. So now, like, what audience would more likely be on the jury? A CNN audience or a TMZ
audience? Girl, this is why you my co-host, because you're so smart.
No,
you're fine and you're smart.
Yeah, you're
just everything.
No, I appreciate it, but I was just thinking, like, why? Because it bothered me. Like, where the tape? Who the hell leaked? Like, who could it possibly? Who gets motive out of? Like, who gains from this?
And you know what though? I might be a little bit smart too, because I told JB, I was very smart. I said, once this video come out, they are going to have to scorch the earth to find a juror who is not biased.
I know. Where you going? It's world news. CNN is world. It's international.
World.
Yeah. That's what
I saw people sharing that video in other languages on Twitter.
Oh, that's ugly.
Other languages. And it wasn't, because Black people think everything that ain't English is Spanish. It wasn't even Spanish. Friend, it wasn't even Spanish.
Yeah, you didn't.
It wasn't even Spanish. They was in other language. I was like, I don't even have no idea what this is.
Yeah. I've never seen an entertainment. This was an entertainment thing. Like, well, we got to say Diddy's entertainment, right? I guess we throw.
He falls under entertainment.
Yeah, like, no, if that was anybody else, you'd be like, if this was something different, TMZ, this is right there.
Fact, like, that's really sitting on my frontal, what is it? Frontal
lobe.
Yeah, my frontal cortex lobe or something. My lace front.
Frontal lobe of my cerebral cortex.
Yeah, this is really sitting on my lace front, because I'm like, the fact that TMZ didn't get it.
Yeah,
it did not go to TMZ, because TMZ would pay top dollar. They would have paid.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Harv would have emptied the safe.
Okay.
For that,
yeah, he would have.
The same way he emptied the safe to get that Solange video.
Yeah,
whooping Jay-Z in that elevator.
Yeah, and the
Ray Rice.
This is different. We're starting to watch too. It's so much behind all of this. Like, this is a whole nother show. We'll be talking about this so much more too, but there's a bigger, the assassination of his character. We're watching the process of it right now.
In real time.
And I'm not saying it's not deserved.
Oh, this is very much deserved.
Going on. We're going to see a lot. My question to you, do you think we'll see an arrest made soon?
No.
Okay.
That's the thing. And that's the most disturbing part about all this. I do not see Diddy sitting behind bars. Okay. I don't.
It seems like they're trying to build this RICO, but I don't know.
I see future settlements.
Okay.
Just like Cassie's. That because before he had deniability, right? Mm-hmm. He still had a sector of people who was still buying the BS, who was still like, y'all just try to money grab, all y'all hoes just want money. Rod lying, Cassie lying, the girl from Detroit lying, the lady from New York lying, all these people lying, the lady who said him and Aaron Hall raped her, lying, everybody lying. And then this is where Diddy effed up. He should have just sat there and ate his food.
Yeah.
You did wrong, right?
And it's on tape.
And that there is video evidence of you doing said wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Just sit there and eat your food.
Yeah.
Just be quiet. We are such a society that is like, oh, squirrel. Oh, squirrel.
Yeah.
Our attention span is so short. Mm-hmm. I'm still tripping off the fact that even after that video came out, 20 million people were still following Diddy.
Oh, well, yeah.
I expected to pull that up and see it drop down to 3. And the 3 would be his twins, Justin and Christian. But 20 million people. But here's what I did notice. He did lose 1 million followers. He down to 19.9. Okay. Well, that ain't even a million. But I was like, I'm out. And some people were like, well, people still want to be nosy or whatever.
That's what it is.
Be nosy without following somebody.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of it is. No, it's a lot of different factors with that, I think. But yes, I at this point, anybody that's supporting him is it's kind of hard to, especially if you're a woman, if you're supporting him. It's kind of hard for me to even excuse
y'all will unfollow an artist who break her leg and can't do her concert on Saturday. Y'all will unfollow her because y'all mad. Y'all call Anita Baker bald-headed because she left y'all hanging in Atlanta on Mother's Day. But y'all still following.
Social media is weird though. So
well, yeah, because there's still people telling me to free R. Kelly. Y'all can free these butt cheeks and pick which one you gonna kiss. Like what?
Yeah.
Okay, so the video is out. Deniability has been completely erased. Mm-hmm. So now let's look at the other cases. Do you feel like now that his credibility as if it wasn't already awful. But now that we have seen video evidence of this man putting hands and literally brutally beating a woman, which he put out a full statement where he denied all of that, do you now feel like going into these other lawsuits, he ain't got a pot to piss in? Like he basically would have to just go ahead and just settle out each one? Or do you feel like if he does settle out each one, then it almost adds more scarlet letters to his jacket?
He still got to fight, because even though, and I'm not defending him, even though like his credibility is shot, there's still some holes. I feel like Little Rod in particular, I don't know, it's certain things that just don't add up, but that's not for me to decide. But I mean, because there may be some things that just aren't true, and you still just gotta fight. Like he gotta fight at this point. He gotta fight, because if you settle with everyone, number one, that's gonna be a whole lot of bread you gotta put out. A lot of bread. Yeah, and you still gotta save money, because I still believe that the feds somehow, some way are gonna build a RICO case on Diddy. Somehow. They don't raid your house for nothing. They just don't. They just don't.
Word.
So,
dude, let me ask you this.
Saving my bread to fight that federal case. But
yeah, I mean, that's where I would keep my bread. And then you also have to think, with everything going down, we're probably watching the crumbling of an empire, because I don't see any more money coming in.
No,
because I have a friend who works for Music Choice, and she was like, "Child, thanks to Diddy, I got to stay up all night because we're removing all his music from our catalog."
Wow,
they've already started pulling his music.
It's gonna be hard for him to have relationships with anybody, because the mayor, mayors, they're thinking about rescinding the
key to the city. He can't even say P. Diddy. You know, you got the keys to the city. He ain't gonna be able to say that no more. So it's like, so I guess, all right. So we talked about the future lawsuits as far as like how he should handle those. So you said you definitely believe he should fight. I feel like he already lost. Now it's at this point, it's for the plaintiffs to lose the case.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I feel like he's in a position where he's so effed up right now. Because it's like, Your Honor, XYZ, we have this video evidence he did. It shows a pattern or a history of blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I feel like he already lost those cases.
Yeah, I get what you're saying too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but like you said,
because he came out, you know what, Zav, you got a good point. Because the fact that I keep forgetting, the fact that he came out and was adamantly said, like, I didn't do this. Like,
yes.
You put a whole statement out when you should have
in writing and left it up.
Yup, and left it up.
And left it up for people to come back and examine it and repost it after the video. Because you know that's what I did. I reposted his statement saying he ain't do none of that junk right alongside the video.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what you do. You got don't forget. You had to let them know. Don't forget.
Hashtag never forget.
Because of the squirrel. What you say? What you say? We chase squirrel. And I'm so glad. Like, shout out to you, because that stuff is extremely important in this time.
Mm-hmm.
Because how we forget, like, the attention span is so short.
Yeah.
Like, don't get it effed up. This man just told us.
He just told all of us, me, you, and the people who wasn't paying attention. He told all of us.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's unfortunate. So then Sunday, so social media is buzzing, right? You have everybody speaking out. You got Cedric the Entertainer speaking out, saying that it was disgusting and diabolical. You had DL Hughley speaking out saying that don't start that trying to take a black man down mess, because this ain't it. Because you know they love to tear a black man down. Yes. What y'all gonna tell me next? Diddy was trying to buy NBC. Leave me alone.
I was waiting for them to say it was AI. If he didn't come out and apologize, I know somebody was saying the video wasn't real. Ain't nobody say that?
No.
Was there anybody out there?
I ain't catch that, but I'm sure somebody way in the back was hollering AI. I'm pretty sure somebody all the way in the back. Who else spoke out? It was just a number of people. Erica Campbell spoke out. It was a number of people who just spoke out in support of Cassie. D. Barnes. And, you know, it's funny because I talk about the trickle-down effect.
Mm-hmm.
The trickle-down effect of this video is like it triggered so many other people who have been victims of domestic violence, right?
Yeah.
So then you have D. Barnes. D. Barnes was like, yeah, I got to log off because I'm triggered because I got punched, slammed, blah, 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 blah by Dr. Dre.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Dre left me with a concussion. So it's like, oh, okay. So now we about to put Dr. Dre back on the Summer Jam screen. And then it's like, but then you have to think about D. Barnes. Dr. Dre got a pluck on the wrist. He didn't even get a slap on the wrist. For what he did to D. Barnes. He got a pluck.
Fab too, right?
Oh, well, I mean, Emily B probably still put her dentures on the nightstand at night, and I'm sorry.
No,
sorry, Emily. But I mean, the way she, I don't condone any woman being beaten in any way, shape, or form. I just will never forget the visual of her out there standing 10 toes down with Fab when Fab was trying to fight her daddy and her daddy was trying to protect her.
That was horrible.
And her daddy was trying to protect her. But again, I don't understand how, I've never been a victim of abuse. I don't understand the intricacies involved in just the dependency and all. I don't understand all of that. But Fab, there are so many people who have been or are documented as abusing women who we still jam into the tunes because we got a short attention span.
Yeah. And poor Chris Brown, y'all won't let it. Hey, I know now. So let Chris Brown live, please.
Oh, okay, but that's my question to you. Okay, that's another question that we need. That's another question we need to address. No. We need to take a break. We need to take a break because because this is so deep. I knew that this was going to be deep. Let's take a break, and when we come back, and I got to make sure I stay on point because right now my brain is rubbish, and I feel like we just hopscotching all over the place. But we're going to eventually get to everything. Yeah. All right, we'll be right back. All right, bestie, I'm back. So listen, I said I'm back like you ain't back too. Okay, hold on. Let's talk about the trickle down, and then I want you to put a pin in Chris Brown. The trickle down. So D Barnes spoke out. Tamar spoke out, said she was triggered. And I'm like, why is Tamar saying she triggered? Totally forgot all about Vince allegedly biting her finger down to the Atlanta hotel. Remember that? When
oh my gosh. Yes.
When Vince allegedly jumped on Tamar and bit her finger.
Yes.
And then, so it was a whole bunch of stuff. Then Rocky Thunder, and some of y'all like, who is that? Well, Rocky Thunder, she was in the entertainment industry, but I remember her and I was introduced to her through Love and Hip Hop.
Okay.
She was on Love and Hip Hop. Her and Joe Budden was tight. They was two peas in the pod. They eventually fell out because I think she didn't get along with one of his girlfriends. I think he was with Tahiri at the time.
Okay.
But I remember, I think her and Tahiri got into a fight at a pool party or something. I might be remembering that wrong, but I remember somebody jumped on Rocky Thunder at a pool party. Okay. But anyway, so Rocky Thunder was like, okay, well, since we exposing the truth, I told Van Lathan in 2019 that Diddy was abusive and he didn't listen.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, not Van Lathan. And you remember Van Lathan used to work for TMZ. And she was like, and he also told Joe Budden where his baby mama was when she was hiding from him. So now she done killed 2 birds with 2 stones.
Wow.
She done put Van on blast.
Right.
And she put Joe on blast. So I'm like, hold on, Joe. Wait, Joe done caught a bullet too.
Right.
So Van comes back. And one thing that I do appreciate about Van is that Van faces everything straight up.
That's what I like. I like Van.
I like Van a lot. Because I feel like he really wants to be a good dude. And just like all of us, he's a flawed human. But at the end of the day, he really wants to be a good person. And so he came back and he said, you know what? Let me explain. And he gave me the longest thesis statement TED Talk I have ever seen in my life explaining, but it was all good because it gave me clarity. So he said that Rocky Thunder came to him with Gina. Gina is Diddy's other former girlfriend. Girl, it's all connected, I promise. 6 degrees of separation is a joke. It is 3 degrees. Gina is the former girlfriend that Diddy had that went to Tasha K.
Okay.
And she went to Tasha K, I think in 2019, and told Tasha how Diddy allegedly beat her up, how he used to punch her in the side of her head because her hair would cover up the bruises rather than hitting her in the face.
Okay.
She also said that he stomped her stomach while she was pregnant. She also said that she had back and forth with Cassie because he was bouncing back and forth between her and Cassie at the time. And then she also, just detailed a number of things. So Rocky wanted to book Gina with Van. Okay. But at the time, Van's show, The Red Pill, was under TMZ's umbrella.
Okay.
Now, Rocky wanted to get Gina with Van because Van is under TMZ umbrella, which will amplify whatever she says. Right. So Van like, nah, he watched Tasha K's interview. He was like, I really don't. I mean, honestly, sir, at the time, Diddy was still in a very strong, powerful position, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just keep it a bean. He ain't want to flat out say it, but I ain't messing with Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not getting involved in that.
Right.
This ain't my circus. He ain't my clown.
Right.
And so he was just like, well, I really don't want to do the interview. And plus, me and Diddy cool. Like, he talking to me about coming to Revolt. So she took that as, oh, you covering up for a friend.
Oh.
Okay. Understandable, though, to a certain degree.
Right.
All right. So then she says that Sin Santana wanted to do an interview with Van.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sin was going to do the interview with Van. And then Van, as a courtesy to Joe, because he knew that at some point the conversation was going to go to her relationship with Joe. Mm-hmm. So as a courtesy, he wanted to call Joe and be like, hey, Sin is coming. And just want to kind of give you a heads up that, I know the conversation may eventually go to you. And, and I just don't want you to think I was trying to kick your back in.
Mm-hmm. Here's
why I'm going to call cap on Van. Because do the interview with Sin first. Because Sin, if you ask her about Joe, Sin may say no comment.
Right. True.
He said that when he called Joe to tell Joe that Sin was coming to do the interview, at the time, he had no idea that there were allegations of abuse in Joe's relationship with Sin. Now, this is news to me. I didn't even know that there were allegations of abuse in their relationship.
Right.
I thought he was cheating.
Okay.
I didn't think there were allegations of abuse in his relationship with Sin. Tahiri, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody before Sin, yes.
Yeah.
But I thought Sin got not put my hands on women no more, Joe.
Right. I've been through some extensive therapy.
Right. I done cleaned up my act. I done did some therapy, Joe. Right. I thought that's the Joe she had. Yeah. But we all know Joe gonna love them hoes. Okay, so I thought she was dealing with I be cheating Joe.
Right.
I didn't know there was a point in time where Sin was literally hiding from Joe.
Oh, wow.
And she was hiding, according to Rocky Thunder and according to Van, because Van said, I apologize for that because I was not aware that there were allegations of abuse. But I'm going to call cap on Van because Van, what allegiance did you have to Joe to call him ahead of time? Like, typically,
true that.
Do the interview. If the interview goes left,
then you can
that's right.
Call and put an end and that don't make sense. That don't make sense. You give
Joe a courtesy call. Hey,
but she hasn't even said anything yet. You didn't do the interview.
She ain't say nothing yet. It's like, hey, something. I interviewed Karla. Some things were said that may not be, shed a very good light on you. I want to give you the opportunity to listen to the interview, give me a statement, or you decide if you want to come in and share your side of the story.
Right.
You don't blow somebody up before they even open their mouth if you have no idea that something's going on.
Yeah.
I'm calling cap on Van on that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm calling cap. Yeah. But anyway, I do appreciate him taking accountability. He did apologize to Rocky. He said if she felt like he didn't listen. All right. So then meanwhile, Joe has kind of skated through the cracks of this alleged abuse stuff with Sin Santana, but he did come under fire because his podcast came out on Saturday. They record on Friday. That video dropped on Friday, and there was not a peep or a word about Diddy on that podcast. So people was like, sir, Joseph Buttonator, what is going on and why? Because in the timestamp said that they talked about Diddy, but if you listen to the episode, it's not there because I woke up fresh and early Saturday morning because I wanted to hear what he was going to say about his boy Diddy.
I was going to say, because has he ever said anything about Diddy? Though I thought he kind of stayed away from the whole thing.
He had been skating. He definitely been skating.
Okay,
and I understand how it can get murky if you have relationships with certain people and then they do things that are.
See, that's my question. All right, so this is my question to you, right?
All right, go.
If you're, I guess podcast, I can't say. I guess this will be more for a journalist. Like, isn't it your job though, at a certain point to report it, whether it's your friend or not, to report what's going on to your audience?
Yes.
Or discuss it. Even as a podcaster, people look at Joe's a big voice. People want to know Joe's opinion, right?
Right. What about this? So say for instance, I don't want to put this on your jacket, but say if you did something really, really bad and it was a really, really big deal.
Guess what? That's why I don't want to be you would just have to talk. You probably wouldn't talk about it. That's why I couldn't be a journalist or something or be. All right, this is what I'll say.
Okay.
Especially in the celebrity realm. I couldn't put myself in that position because I know at one time I wouldn't be doing my job if I couldn't say anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a fight to line. I don't know. It's weird because then that doesn't make you a good. If you only speak good of someone and you don't speak the bad of them too, like doesn't that make you like? I don't know.
Okay, so what about this? What about this? So in the event that you found yourself in a tough position, a bad position, and everybody know me and you've been podcasting together for over 10 years, we've been besties even longer, right?
Right.
So if it becomes a situation where there's a story and people looking at me like, what you gonna say, Xaviera?
Right.
I could see myself, or do you feel like this is acceptable? I report the story and then I say something to the effect of, I'm sure all of you are fully aware that I have a very close relationship with Karla. So I want to keep my personal thoughts, views, and opinions out of this.
That's all. You still have to discuss it though.
Right. Okay. So then after Joe I agree with that. So after Joe got called on the carpet, he spun the block. He came back. He went on like Twitter Spaces or one of them little spaces where you be talking to people.
Okay.
And he said that it was breaking news while they were recording the podcast. They gave their immediate thoughts, views, and opinions on the situation in real time.
Okay.
And after the pod was over, that I think it was Imani pulled him to the side and was like, hey, because of the magnitude of this, y'all may want to consider like letting, I guess, like basically like letting it sit in your spirit and really think about what you're going to say versus just flying off the cuff and just speaking off the top of the dome. Be more responsible in your commentary. Be more responsible in your responses to it. Now, I understand both sides of that, but I feel like if we had got that breaking news reaction, that was the real reaction. Now you got time to go home and sit up and think about how to politically correctly say these certain things and how not to step on this and how not to step on that. Listen, y'all can give me first reaction, go home, and then come back and then say, hey, I thought about this.
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't have said this. Maybe I was irresponsible and skipping over this. I should have addressed this part. Because now it seems contrived. It seems like you went home and put together a nice little script to make sure you don't say the wrong thing or blah, blah, blah. But I know what that was about. That was about, you can't be saying this, that, and the third when niggas out here know that you done allegedly
and that's
hands on women.
Yeah.
You pot calling kettle. So you got to be careful and mindful of what you say.
Yeah. That's true.
Because people got the same Letterman's jacket that Diddy just put on. You've been wearing it allegedly for years.
Yeah, that's true.
You part of the same.
You got a good point. That's so true.
Beat them down club.
That's why a lot of them are quiet too.
Of course. Listen, I implore all y'all, and I told you guys on my Saturday night chat, and you can go watch that on YouTube. I told all of y'all to go to Diddy's page and look who in the comments. Yes, King. Putting crown emojis, putting hearts, love. I could call off about 5 people right now that are at the top of their game that be in them comments going hard for Diddy. And I think it was one of those things they were going hard for him because they was like, hey, if he come out unscathed, I still need a track.
Yeah.
I still need that collab. Yeah. I still need that juice. I still need that endorsement. I still need that push.
Of course.
So let me stay aligned.
I ain't gonna sever the bag. I ain't severing ties. And that's the truth. A lot of them are that way. Wow.
And you know who I was very disappointed with? Because of course I told you everybody was releasing their statements, so on and so forth. But I was really, really disappointed in MC Lyte. And I just got to say it. And as much as I love Lyte as a rock, I love me some MC Lyte, but I was so disappointed in her because there's a lot of performative stuff going on right now with all these statements and so on and so forth. And MC Lyte put out a statement on behalf of her hip hop sisters or something. And the statement was basically, you know, the same Chat GPT statement. A lot of people putting out, we don't condone domestic violence. We stand with victims and so on and so forth. And it's unacceptable. And we send our love and our prayers to Sister Cassie and so on and so forth. But MC Lyte, I pulled up on social media 4 or 5 times you was in Bali with Russell Simmons.
I mean, I don't know. That gets kind of tricky though, because.
But what?
I mean, are they friends?
Yeah, she's friends with Russell Simmons, but Russell Simmons got over 12 sexual assault lawsuits.
I know, but if they were
right
friends,
now.
I mean, can you just cut a friend off because of accusations? Like, that gets tricky. That gets tricky.
I told you, if I get caught out there doing some dumb shit, then you just hang with me at the house. We don't go outside and take pictures, and we ain't.
But we never seen Russ. I mean, he was accused, but we didn't see. It's different. I think the situation is different. We seen Diddy beating Cassie.
Okay. All right, you shooting lights and bail. Okay, I'll rock with that.
I just think that's tricky because, like, think about it. Like, somebody can accuse you of anything. I'm not saying that he didn't do it, but anybody can accuse you of anything, and you just gonna sever your tie. We don't know how long they've been friends. That could be a lifelong friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. Mm-hmm. I'm still like, I was just like, all right, like. Okay. I was rolling my eyes at her and everything. I was like, all right. So let's circle back around to Chris Brown, because we done had him sitting on ice for a minute. The video of Diddy puts out this apology on Sunday, of apology video. The most trash ass apology video I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Definitely Hall of Famer trash ass apology video. In the video, matter of fact, let me just play it for y'all, because I ain't even trying to.
Difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Okay, first of all, you ain't got to ask for forgiveness because you ain't getting it over here. Secondly, did you peep how, because now we putting on our Judge Mathis Law and Order hat.
See.
Did you peep how he kept saying in that video? He's basically setting the stage for it was a one-time occurrence. In that video.
Yeah.
And so one of the criticisms that Diddy received after putting out this apology video was that he never directly apologized to Cassie.
I don't think he can, right?
He can't. That's right.
Okay.
He can't, because their settlement, I guess, had some type of NDA, a strict NDA clause that says that he and Cassie cannot discuss or mention each other's names in public.
Oh wow, she can't either. That makes sense. Yeah, of course she would have to.
Yeah, because that's going to stop her from going
over. The bag. Yeah, you can't run your mouth and get the bag.
You can. Okay, that's going to stop her book, her memoir. That's going to stop her.
Yeah, everything.
Going to Tamron Hall. Tamron Hall be trying to get everybody.
But it makes sense because once you settled, it means that we've all the damages and everything. We've paid for everything. You can't be compensated anymore for that makes sense. Okay. I thought he couldn't say. I remember he couldn't say her name or something or talk about her either.
So he can't mention her name or whatever. But so this apology comes out, and I just feel like the apology is just drenched in narcissism. But there are certain people like Kelly Price who jumped out there and wrote prayers for him and told him to, go to God and all that. And listen, at the end of the day, I was raised under the Bible. Okay. And I was raised in church, and my grandma taught me about the love and the forgiveness and all the great things that come from our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I understand the Christian thing to do for somebody is to pray. But guess what? Kelly Price Peter Thomas, all y'all performative ass Negroes who got on social media trying to basically send Diddy the bat signal to let him know that we still in your corner. If you survive this, because I need a track later on, or I need an investment, y'all can keep that, because to pray for somebody, if you sincerely want somebody to pray for themselves, first of all, y'all, Kelly Price, you ain't got Diddy's number.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. While you coming out, that's where they lose me with it. It's bullshit. Because if you're gonna pray for somebody, you're gonna pray, and you call them on the phone. You're not gonna put it on social.
Okay.
And like,
how about DM? If you ain't got his number, you can DM him.
Yeah.
Why you got to put it to the front for all of us to see it? Because you trying to be performative.
And I feel like y'all need to shut the hell up. If Cassie ain't coming out saying that she forgive him, who are y'all?
How about this? Where are the prayers for Cassie, though?
Right, straight up.
Kelly Price, where's your prayer for Cassie?
As a woman, too.
Peter Thomas, where's your prayer for Cassie?
Straight up.
Fact. Y'all sitting up writing all these prayers and for redemption and prayers, for atonement and this, that, and the third for Diddy and the Lord. Let Diddy and Jesus talk that out in the corner. You mind your goddamn business. Somebody said, Kelly Price, you had us thinking you was missing. You have been kidnapped.
Word.
You have yet to tell us where the hell you was at.
Straight up. Clout's a hell of a drug, though.
Man, listen. Clout don't
because
care.
Why else? Come on. Me and you all the time.
All the time.
And we on the phone. And plenty of people I prayed for, and I've never done it over social media.
Okay, I ain't never wrote a full-on ass out prayer for nobody on social media. Especially somebody who has done something so egregious that it will literally turn the stomach of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Come on now, miss me. Like Kelly Price was just
and she always seems to.
It's a reason why she got me blocked.
Yeah.
she just so. And then Nikki Gilbert gonna turn around and blame the media for tearing up Black and brown families.
Nikki. Nikki. Like,
no, but let me talk to the black. Let me talk to a sector of black people right now.
Type of person.
Now, let me talk to a certain sector of black people right now who truly, honestly get on my nerves and get under my skin. There's a sector of y'all black people who really, really get on my nerves, and y'all are the what about such and such people? If Diddy is caught on video putting his hands on Cassie, don't talk to me about Shia LaBeouf.
Oh my gosh,
ain't my business.
Right, that's right.
Don't talk to me when y'all talk about R. Kelly. Don't talk to me about Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein ain't my business.
Exactly. You know what reminds you of? I ain't mean to cut you off. Remember when you tell your mama, but mama, such and such did it?
Yep.
Fuck, that got to do with
what that got to do with me? What do that got to do with the price of tea in China? Remember that one?
Yo, yeah, that or the old one. So such and such jump off the Brooklyn Bridge. You jump into?
Like y'all.
And why was it always the Brooklyn Bridge? No, I'm sorry, because we're all over the place. Why was it always the Brooklyn Bridge?
I don't know. I guess it was a popular bridge. Yeah. I don't know. See how easy we squirrel. Well, what about the bridges and the architecture? Yeah, so it's like that is so annoying to me.
It is,
because number one, I feel like stop always just because somebody white committed a crime and somebody black committed a crime, just because someone white committed a crime and wasn't held accountable,
doesn't make the black crime right.
It doesn't make the black crime right. Or what we trying to equal things out?
Yeah.
What we doing?
And I don't like that. I'm so happy you said this. This is such a needed conversation for the whole community. That goes on a lot. I hear it we all hear it probably at least twice a week.
Try it twice a day. It is absolutely ridiculous. Well, what about such and such? Well, what about such and such? Well, guess what? That is not, as far as I'm concerned, he is not my problem in the black community.
That's right.
Now, if Harvey Weinstein was over there trying to touch on Nia Long or Angela Bassett or something, we ride at dawn.
Yeah, we got our own battles, man.
We got our own battles. Like this is why our community is in disarray, because we won't even police our own community because we comparing the crimes of other communities to ours. And if they get away with it, then why are we on this?
Preach. That's facts. And that's going on all over in so many different parts of life. That's facts.
Are y'all serious? Come on now, grow up.
Yeah.
Put your thinking cap on and tighten it up. Put your what is it called? Put your poo shiesty on.
Right. Word.
Like, it's so stupid. Okay, so I've been trying to get to this Chris Brown.
Yes,
there's a sector of people who feel like this video is from 2016. Did he put his hands on Cassie?
Mm-hmm.
Did he claim he went to therapy? He claimed that he went to rehab. He claims that he did soul searching and this, that, and the third, and that he changed him. He working on being a better man every day. So you look at people like Dr. Dre, you look at people like Diddy, you look at people like Joe Budden, people who have been accused and or proven to have abused women. You look at people like Fab, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look at people like Chris Brown. So Dr. Dre is out here thriving, so much so that BET has given him his own award to give out to other people. Meanwhile, Chris Brown ain't even allowed to come on stage and dance like Michael Jackson. So my question to you is, who is eligible? And I feel like, as Brian would tell me, look, Brian Simpson is going to always live in my head when he told me that question is flawed. Shout out to Brian, our guy Brian. He told me in our interview, he was like, "That's a flawed question." So from now on, I'm like, every time I'm getting ready to ask something, I hear him in the back of my head like, "That question is flawed." And I know this is a flawed question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Who is eligible for forgiveness and who isn't?
Yeah, that's
like, who is there?
I know where you're going with it. No, I feel you. I feel where you're coming from with that, because it makes you question, like, y'all act like some people are able to be forgiven and some not. Like, who made this list? Where's it at? Who's in charge of it? And are we allowed to? And that's what the type of, I don't know when this started, but first of all, everybody is I believe able. You should forgive everyone, because it ain't about you. It ain't about them. Right. We all know that. Well, but I think more your question is
forgiveness to God.
Do you think that right? And that's what it is. Forgiveness go to God. But I think you know what I think I think what you're trying to say too. Like, can you come back? What are some offenses or some things that you can do that you just can't come back from? Is that make more sense?
Like for R. Kelly, I feel like R. Kelly can't come back.
Right. Yeah, because I think pedophilia, anything with children, me personally, these are just my things. Anything with children that involves pedophilia, it's really not no comeback. Like, that's between you and God. But I just even with extensive therapy, I think that's just one thing. I'm trying to think what else. Rape is probably another one.
Well, did he check that box too, according to Cassie?
But I just think that's a question for them and their God. But I do believe that people can.
But okay, you're right. You're definitely right. But let's look at it from a society standpoint, right?
Okay.
Is there a checklist of things that people must pass or must fulfill their obligation or their atonement checklist in order to be forgiven? Now, there's an argument. There's an argument regarding Chris Brown, because one argument is Chris Brown was 18, 19 years old when he did what he did to Rihanna. His lace front wasn't fully grown at the point. You know what I'm saying? At that point, he made a poor decision, right? So they're like, y'all still holding him accountable for something he did as a teenager, and Chris Brown damn near almost 40 years old. Right. But there's another argument of people who says, okay, Chris Brown did what he did to Rihanna, but Chris Brown has had multiple infractions since Rihanna, which keeps his Carfax report with dings, because remember, Karrueche had to get a restraining order.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you let some people tell it, he tried to put hands on Tiana Taylor.
He's just an angry, and it's a history of violence for Chris Brown. It is.
And because wasn't his mother abused, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a history period, even after the Rihanna. When he threw the chair through GMA.
Oh, my gosh.
That was after Rihanna, right?
Rihanna, he threw the chair through the GMA.
It's a history of, especially violence in public, too. Like, we see.
Right.
Either it or the aftermath of it.
Because I feel like after the Rihanna thing, if Chris Brown had put on his halo and just danced down and made them tunes, we would have been good money.
Facts. That's true. I agree.
He would have been good money.
I agree.
But it's like you're
a repeat offender, dog.
Like, you're a repeat offender.
Like what you want.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, and that's going to upset some people. But let's just be honest.
No, Zav, you have a very good point.
Let's just be honest about all the perspectives on it. This is why some people are still hollering.
Yes.
It wasn't just Rihanna. This is his person. This is a character flaw, right?
That's true.
Because Dr. Dre, and this is in no way, shape, or form intended to disrespect D or to Michelle or whomever else, because I don't even know what Nicole got in the tuck. Nicole, his wife, Nicole Young.
Yeah.
But after, I don't know, was D before or after Michelle?
I think
after.
Yeah.
Okay. After D, there has been no record whatsoever of Dr. Dre. None.
True.
No record whatsoever. So then that's what allows people to forget, or not even so much forget.
And it's a bad choice. Because I feel like one time you made a mistake. 2 times it's a choice. So, or more than 2. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from too. Because I believe you can but you can redeem yourself from certain things if you work hard at it and it's not done again.
And you put in the work and you you try to show. I mean, listen, when you go to jail, they give you a sentence. They give you a certain amount of time that they feel like will be that is fair. What is the word I'm looking for? That is comparable to whatever crime you committed. But jail, we forgot. But jail is supposed to be a place of rehabilitation.
Right. That's a joke. But
that's a joke. But that's what it's supposed to be.
It is. You're right.
It's supposed to be a big ass timeout for you big grown people who do bad things.
Yeah.
Jail is supposed to be the ultimate timeout.
Yeah.
But some of y'all go to jail and hone your crafts. And some of y'all go to jail and learn and pick up new crimes or become worse than coming out than you did going in.
Yes. Facts.
Or you just don't change at all and you just come back out, do it again and go right back. But that is what it's supposed to be. So I feel like as someone who is very, you're famous, you have a lot of eyes on you, you make a huge mistake or a huge choice that was not the right choice. I think it's best to try to walk the finest line that you can. Sure. It's almost like Tiffany Haddish get arrested for drunk driving. Oh, Tiff, come on. Damn, Tiff, come on. You got to do better, sis. 1 year later. Tiffany Haddish arrested again for drunk driving. It's like, yo, okay, just take her keys. Take her keys. Take her car.
At this point, it's an addiction. It's an addiction.
And like you said, it's a choice. It's a choice at this point. So it's like the first time it could have been, yo, we all done got caught slipping. Everybody remember that one time y'all tried to make it home from the club knowing good and got darn well you should have been in an Uber. Yeah. But it's true. Just, but again, my question is, who is eligible for forgiveness and who isn't? Because some of y'all let certain people make it.
It's who you love. It all comes down like we always say, who you like more. Yeah. And who they like more.
Popularity. Because listen, Robert Downey Jr. was the biggest crackhead in Hollywood at one point in time.
Yeah.
Now he Iron Man, my G.
Yeah. His story's so amazing though. When
it is though. Because he put in the work.
His comeback story is amazing.
He put in the work.
Yeah, and you have to. Yep.
Let me find an example of a black man because they'd be like, sure, we ain't got a white man.
But his white or black, that's probably one of the best comeback stories. Well, maybe Samuel L. Right? But Samuel L. wasn't in his career during his addiction, was he?
I don't know. Was he on that ish when he was Gator?
I don't know. It's a good question. I can't think of black, but Robert Downey Jr. is such a great example. I don't care whether it's black. We don't care what y'all think about as far as black, white. We speaking as far as people in general. We got to stop black and white in everything too. Some things it is black and white. Don't get me wrong. We have to separate, but some things are just like you were saying earlier. Stop comparing one crime to the next.
Yeah.
Because they're white or, but nah, that's a hell of a comeback story. It's Robert Downey Jr. But I feel like everyone that's between God as far as forgiveness. But I agree with you. If you're a repeat offender, it gets people don't forget. People just don't forget
because it's like you just adding on, you piling on. It's like a cake.
It that much harder.
Keep adding layers.
Yeah, to work your way back. It does.
And as talented and as amazing as Chris Brown is, I mean, Rihanna wasn't the only blemish on his Carfax report. Yeah, and again, we are all flawed human beings, but when you are in the public eye and when you have a spotlight on you, baby, you under a magnifying glass.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or you chose that, you chose that life.
Yeah.
You chose that career.
Yep. Truth.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about this Cameron CNN interview, and then we're going to just go ahead and wrap up the Diddy and Cassie segment because, you know, I could go on and on and on talking about. But just shout out to all y'all who out here doing dirt.
Yes.
Cat Williams done set the tone, baby.
Didn't he?
He done set the tone, and people ready to out your ass. So you best get on the good foot, get in your prayer closet, ask God to speak to my heart, Holy Spirit. You better ask the Lord to tell you. Better talk to Jesus. You better get him on the main line. Get him on the main line, because I got him on the main line, and I ain't about to pray for none of y'all little tragic ass people. Y'all better get your lives together, because people telling now.
Yeah, they telling.
And I keep telling y'all,
season.
We are done creating safe spaces for people who do wrong. We done. We off that. Yes. All right. So let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, ICC friends, we are back. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. We invite you to be a part of the show by dropping down in the comments wherever you listen to share your thoughts, views, and opinions on the topics discussed today. Let us know, what do you think about the video of Diddy abusing Cassie? What do you think about the apology video? What are your thoughts on redemption? Like, what are the prerequisites, or what are the markers that need to be met in order for someone to move past like a huge or major transgression or blemish? Go ahead, Karla. Got something you want to say?
I was just thinking, another person I was thinking about, we never, I don't remember him having a second offense. Why we don't forgive Michael Vick? He was one of the ones. I think
Black people have forgiven Michael Vick. Michael Vick, he's been at the barbecue for years. Yeah, it's still the white people that be hollering, "What about Rover?" It be them bleach blonde, bad built butch body women that still be.
Yeah, that's true. But it was more than them. It was the industry, really. Because what is Mike Vick doing now? Like, Mike Vick should be in somebody's front. I feel like they owe him a front office job or something.
Some ESPN, something NFL Sunday, something. I saw it. Well, he did share pictures. He was with his mom and them on Mother's Day. I did see that. I was like, he's still chocolate and fine, though.
Yes, right.
The Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. Yeah. So, but you're right, Michael Vick. Wow, he was another one who really, but it was a big one-time offense. Yeah, and he even went to jail.
Yeah. That's a whole nother issue. But I'm like, but I'm like you. I think it's more white people that kind of just didn't let it go. Mm-hmm.
And dog lovers that
can. Yep. And ain't that a bit? You can go around and you can hurt children.
Yes.
Now about the girl, it's a whole nother show. I just thought about that too.
There are some people who love dogs more than humans.
Yeah, I know that part.
They will kill you, a human, about their dog.
I don't remember them getting this upset about some of these child abusers. I'm just sitting there thinking about it.
All right.
Sick. But all right, girl, because look, that's a whole nother thing. I will have us all over the place.
So last but not least, we want to talk about the most current event was Cameron appearing on CNN last night. Shout out to Abby D. Phillip, because she is one of the most professional and beautiful Black women I have ever seen in my life.
Listen,
the way she handled Cameron throughout that video. So basically, Cameron was invited on CNN, and I said first it was James Brown, then it was Glorilla, and now we got Cameron. Because, James Brown was living in America. And then Glorilla was like, at the end of the day got the end. I was like, okay. And then Cameron went on there last night, and they were Abby was trying to ask him about the Diddy video, the assault video, the apology video. She was trying to ask Cameron, just about Diddy's demeanor and behavior in the music industry. And Cameron basically was on some... Y'all brought me here to talk about Diddy. Like, I wasn't around Diddy. Like, y'all should have brought Mace on here if y'all wanted to talk about Diddy like that. But it was Cameron's antics. Cameron ingested some horsepower
on live
erectile.
Was that live?
Stimulant. I believe it was live.
Was it me, or was he shaking though?
When
he took the horsepower, his hand, he was shaky. There were so many different things that went on when I saw that video. I didn't think Cameron looked his best. That's what I'm saying.
He definitely. But you know what? This is what I noticed about Cameron. And I don't know if this is just me or if it's a telltale sign. Anytime Cameron is not fully 100% comfortable in whatever antic he is pulling off, Either his bottom lip shakes or his hand shakes.
All right. Well, his hand is shaking with the horsepower. Go back and look at when he drank the horsepower, so you can see what I'm talking about.
Years ago,
because I was concerned. I'm like, is he going to explode? Like he was trembling. Like so that makes sense. Then he was uncomfortable, and he. Okay.
It's almost like one of those things. Like, yo, I know I'm about to show out.
He's about to snap. He's trying to control himself.
But I don't feel 100% in doing it. Like I'm not 100% confident in it.
He tried to regulate himself. That's what it looked like.
Man, listen,
the way he was shaking his hand, I'm like, oh gosh, is he going to explode?
The first time I saw him do that was when he was on 106 in Park, and he was trying to send a warning diss to Nas. And the whole time he was talking, his bottom lip was shaking. Okay. And I was like, you trying to talk tough, but you don't feel fully confident in what you're doing. And so here's just a little bit of the CNN interview. Hold on.
Everything in the video was egregious. I'm against. I don't support all the charges that's alleged against him. I don't support any of that trafficking, minors, domestic violence. I'm totally against it. So when I seen the video, I was kind of upset with it. Being that I know him, he's not necessarily a friend, but I was upset when I seen it. But
did you recognize him?
I just said.
Did you recognize that kind of anger at all from your experiences?
I don't know like that. What do you mean? Do I be recognized? Did I recognize him? I seen him. What do you mean my experiences? I seen him and I thought it was disgusting. I didn't do a zoom in to see if it was really him or nothing, but he admitted it was him, so it was him.
What did you think about the apology that he gave in that other video?
The apology ain't for me to decide, it's for Cassie. What I think about it don't matter. He ain't do nothing to me. Cassie need to ask Cassie if she accept the apology. I told you how I feel. I said what I said.
I want to play a conversation that you had on your podcast.
Then let's fast forward to the very end when he starts questioning once she gets sick of him.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I might get some more information out of Mace from there, but for me to tell you how Puff acting all that, I don't know. I never was signed to him.
Yeah. What about the industry in general? I mean, so many people have pointed out that Diddy couldn't get away with this stuff if there weren't a lot of people protecting him. Do you think that's the case?
Who the talent agent for this joint? Like, you think I'll be sitting around watching what Diddy doing all this? I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that invited me to. Who booked me for this joint?
All right.
Wow, and I don't be sitting around watching Diddy and all that. Yeah,
thanks.
Come on, man.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me. You enjoy
being here.
That was so that I feel so many different ways about that. Cameron could have handled that interview better. He could have did better. At his age now, I get it, because Cameron has always gotten and shown his ass in front of like the press. I get it.
Oh yeah, that's his thing. That's what he's known for.
Yeah, but I feel like when you get to a certain age, it's not cute. Like, you could have handled that more professionally. I understand like him feeling some type of way, like you brought me on here but that's something to take up with whoever, like you said, whoever booked you, or she's doing her job.
Hey, Bestie, I'm gonna call Cap on all this shit, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm calling Cap. Mm-hmm. CNN calls Cameron to ask him to come on there.
Okay.
He don't know why he going on CNN.
Yeah, true that. You think they definitely don't think they lied? Yeah, because what else would they be bringing you on there?
They're not bringing you on there to talk about the It Is What It Is podcast.
True.
You don't know why CNN called. You don't have an inclination. If someone called me right now and said, "Hey, Xaviera, we really are fans of Ice Cream Convos. We would love to have you on CNN." I'm expecting to go on there and talk about Diddy or talk about whatever the latest hot topic is.
True that. Just like the times you've guessed on TMZ.
Yeah, they bring me on to talk about whatever the hottest story is. Yeah. So
true.
Sir, don't act like you don't know why you was there. Yeah. You knew why you was going, and you had a plan. You wasn't fully confident in the plan. That's why you was shaking.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, what was the end game for that, though?
The plan was, number one, he promoted his horsepower. That's his brand.
Which nobody's still not going to see.
The horsepower. And then he also promoted the It Is What It Is podcast and noted that it comes on 8 a.m. every weekdays on YouTube. So he got that. He squeezed that in too. So you knew what you was going on there. So I had, like you said,
I think that's come out of this
feeling. You come out of it feeling several different ways. Mm-hmm. The N-word in me thought it was funny.
Right.
The N word in me thought it was funny because it's like typical Cameron, because we know Cameron to be, somebody was like, get Rico off of CNN.
Right. True.
The N word in me thought it was funny. The adult in me was like, bruh, like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, that's how I guess I felt more of it.
Yeah, the secondhand embarrassment. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
Lastly, someone else pointed this out, that Cameron proved exactly what's wrong with the hip hop industry live on CNN while Abby D. Phillip was trying to ask him about another problematic man in the hip hop industry. Because she's asking you about a man who has abused a woman. It's on video. He released an apology, but that lawsuit also said he sexually assaulted that woman. So what do you do in the middle of that interview? You ingest.
Wow, right. And say you're going to get some cheeks. And say
you're going to go get some cheeks. So you sexualizing women in the middle of the interview that's talking about women who are being abused.
That's crazy. That's nuts. Ignorant. That's why I'm saying, like, I really feel, I don't know, I feel a little less of a fan of Cam after that. Just not even, you just brought even more points, so it gave me, but I didn't like how he dealt with, like, it's a better way to handle that.
And then let's talk about the tone, how you talking to a beautiful black woman on television.
That's what it is. You got
intelligent, accomplished black woman on television.
Yes.
What you mean?
Yeah, like who you talking to?
Yeah.
And check this out. You had a wrong audience. I think it's failed. Number one, you promoting horsepower on the audience that ain't stunting, really don't even know who you are.
Don't even care to be looking at black people, actually. Let's keep it a bean.
So all of that and promoting your podcast, that's not the right audience.
I really need to have a meeting with CNN. Because
you need to pick him.
No. I see what CNN trying to do, but it's blowing up in their face. CNN is trying to tap into a certain demographic and a certain culture, but it's blowing up in their face. You brought Glorilla on CNN to talk about the upcoming presidential election. And she looked at you and was like, well, I mean, at the end of the day got to end. Don't bring Glorilla onto CNN to try to draw black voters.
Right. That's what it is. And her age group, young black voters too.
Young black voters. It's almost like y'all going for low-hanging hip-hop fruit.
Because that's what the young people are attracted to.
Well, don't be surprised if they go live into the prison to find out who Blueface think is the best candidate.
Straight up.
Because that's where it's headed.
Yeah. No, for real.
Come on, CNN.
Yeah. But you know.
CNN, at this point, I feel like they kind of making a fool out of themselves at this point.
And they struggling too. Everybody's tapping into that. It's not just them. They're all doing it.
CNN better off just starting a blog right at this point. Start a blog on Instagram. Do what the rest of us doing.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, like because of the blogs, I guess the major news stations gotta kind of go tap into these other spaces.
You right. They gotta take it to hell.
But it's crazy, isn't it? Who would ever think though? When you think about it, like CNN, Cameron, Glorilla, and this is no offense, like to them, right? I love Glow. But that's the wrong. If you gonna have Glow on there, let's talk about rap. Let's talk about hip hop. Let's talk about, they ask her about politics. That definitely was. We know what y'all was trying to do. CNN, y'all that's why I want to know who chose Cameron. Why did they choose Cameron?
Cameron wanted to know who chose him, but guess what? I want to know, Cameron, why you went.
Yeah, you know why? You said why he went. I'm just curious. Like, out of all the people they could have reached out to, maybe everybody turned them down then too.
I mean, if y'all can do Glorilla and Cameron, just call me next week. I can at least act articulate. I can at least enunciate.
I know that's right.
Put together a thought. I might get a little nervous and start stuttering or fumbling over my words, but I will articulate a thought. See, there I go right there.
Yeah, right. But the news going news, right? You know how it can be. You can see a beautiful woman in a business suit, and you see another one with a bonnet on her head and missing teeth. They gonna interview the bonnet and the missing teeth every time.
Yep. I ain't have on no shoes or nothing, Jesus. That's who they want. They're going to walk right past me and interview. They're going to interview the girl that started out like, all right, boom. So look.
But that just brings up, though, something on a serious note, though. The media always, the image that they want to feed of us. Right? It's
well, then that sound like Nikki Gilbert, because Nikki Gilbert blaming the media for destroying Black and brown families. But at the same time, I'm like, well, guess what? The media can't report what the Black and brown families ain't doing.
No, but I feel they do have a hand. I'm not agreeing with Nikki Gilbert. That's something totally different. But I do agree with the media does pick and choose to put us
perception.
Absolutely. I've seen it. You can see it in real life too. Yeah. Watch who they go for when they interview.
That's when we need to start policing. When they be out there and they be going over to Shaquana, be like, nope, Miss Brown is right here. CNN, nope, Miss Brown can't speak today. No, look, Shaquana can't speak today. Let's go over here and talk to Miss Brown. Yeah, I see what y'all tried to do.
No, you wild, but I see the difference. I'm just like, I have so many feelings about it, but I'm so disgusted with Cameron after that interview. That's the main feeling. I'm kind of disgusted. It's that mouth, like your tone. I think even if the tone was different, I probably would have laughed. I think the tone is what kept me from laughing at it. I did chuckle, but not like I feel like if his tone was different.
I think my chuckle was more like,
no, he did. That's what yeah, for real.
Is he serious right now? Oh wow. Okay. Amber Rose popped out with Donald Trump last night.
Oh gosh. Another attack. Here we go. Attention seeking at his best.
Okay.
For what? Okay. Thank God ain't nobody really looking up the Amber Rose though anymore.
She endorsed Trump 2020.
Who's following Amber?
And here's what's funny. People on Twitter is like, that's why Jocelyn beat you up on College Hill. I'm living in a world right now where Jocelyn is the hero in the story. What is happening?
That's crazy, right?
What is happening? Last night I was laying in the bed and I was like, I really, really missed the mark, because every single month I should have went and wrote something that was like, okay, well, wasn't expecting to see this in 2024. I mean, we could start in January. Wasn't Cat in January?
Yes. Yeah.
So Cat Williams, that interview 2024, it was just a number of things that went down in 2024 that was just like, really? Okay, bingo card. So Amber Rose endorsing Donald Trump. I'm gonna add that to my 2024 bingo card. I know she's an ultimate clout chaser. I know that
she is. She's because didn't she say she's an atheist too? Like, I think a lot of Amber Rose doesn't even believe herself. No, like she says stuff just to get attention. Didn't she say she was an atheist? Yeah. So it's just
that woman ain't been right since Wiz left.
Facts. No, that's the truth.
She's standing next to Donald Trump.
That's the truth.
In a photo with him and Melania with a tattoo across her forehead.
Wow.
Bye.
That's wild.
Bye.
Disgusting.
Hasta luego.
Yeah.
Hasta mañana.
Thank God she's not a main.
Yeah, and then, but Cardi B has also said, she's not voting for either candidate because she doesn't like either candidate. And it's like, and I definitely listen, I feel like everyone has the right to feel how they want to feel. But if you know that you have power and influence, it's irresponsible to make statements like that, especially when at the end of the day, okay, you don't like either candidate, but guess what? One of them is going to end up there.
Right.
So you're going to have to if you want to stay home, that's an unfortunate decision that you made, but okay, that's your choice.
Yeah.
But if you have fans, legions of fans, who some of them borderline into Minionville, don't put that messaging out there.
This is the reality of it, though. I believe the majority of people are not that know about. They're not voting because their favorite celebrity votes.
Yeah, true that. The real OG poll patrol.
Right.
Poll patrol.
Yeah. Because we learned that even with Bernie, remember? And social media said Bernie was going to win. So you got to be that, and he didn't. So I like that kind of stuff is just, I still feel like they have a voice. Don't get me wrong. But I think most of their voice goes to people that can't, like the ones that will follow them, or people that aren't at the age to be able to vote yet anyway.
Right. Yeah. That's a great point. So the people who are dedicated to casting their ballot ain't listening to these doofies anyway.
Not doofies though, but yeah, I still need them to stop though. I still need them to stop.
Because there are potential voters who may be listening.
Yes, we still exactly right. That you are embedding in their head, right? And then by the time they are able to vote.
Yeah. Don't be doofy.
Yeah.
I do have 2 updates that I definitely want to touch on before we get up out of here. The first update is Mr. Unbraid My Hair, the teacher who went viral after he posted a video on social media of his female students unbraiding his hair. Karla and I did a deep dive on that last episode, so you definitely want to go back and listen to that if you missed it. He is now admitting that it was highly unprofessional.
Finally.
You think? Right. You think? And here's what's really crazy. He wrote that it was highly unprofessional, and I shared the content, and people were like, no, it wasn't.
And he said it. Child, y'all go somewhere and go get a life, please. Please.
I'm like, y'all are
now you tell her what he did.
Hell-bent on supporting nonsense. But it just, like, again, like we said, it just goes back to your personal beliefs, moral standards, whatever, wherever you set the bar in your life.
Yeah.
Because the man is telling you, now he just saying that because he need to find another job.
He got to find a job.
He was pressured, and he need to make sure. That's all.
That guy public opinion is not like law. Or policy. God damn, we'd be in a messed up world.
Child.
And then y'all wonder why we got to have somebody in charge of y'all asses, because y'all just
everything you got when you like to get away.
Oh my gosh. Thank God there's some type of order in life, because can you imagine?
Child. Okay, so if you want to see the video, but he is still going. I said, sir,
well, he's want to keep
your 15 minutes of fame has expired. We are on to the next. Let's wrap this up. Yes. Listen. And somebody said he went through all this for braids that don't even hang past his ears.
Right.
Child. Yo, one thing I tell you about them people on social media are pure comedy.
And they're going to grind you up. Yes.
Every time.
Yes. Oh,
the last update that I want to share with you guys before we wrap up today's show. We also talked about the police officer. His name is Kobe Minor, the former Atlanta police officer who fatally shot a Lyft driver. The Lyft driver's name was Reginald Folks. We previously reported on this. Or no, did we talk about this? We didn't, because it happened after.
Posted it, right. We didn't talk about it on the podcast, but it's on icecreamconvos.com.
Oh, snap. Thank you, Karla.
Yeah.
Well, let me go ahead and tell y'all real quick what happened. Former Atlanta police officer Kobe Minor fatally shot a Lyft driver whose name was Reginald Folks. Not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before. He shot Folks while Folks was taking him from another officer's house home. And everybody was like, what in the world? Like, why did a former police, like, at the time he was still APD when he did the shooting. Okay. He was still a cop at the time. Well, now Kobe Minor is saying that he fatally shot Reggie Folks, the Lyft driver, because he believed that the driver was in a gay fraternity and he was trying to kidnap and recruit him.
Oh, man. That's what it turned into?
That's what it turned into. Mr. Minor claims that, let me just read you this excerpt. It'll be much easier than me trying to paraphrase. It says, during the ride, Folks started to talk to someone on the phone in a different language per the arrest affidavit. Child, what am I talking about? During that time, Minor told investigators that he heard a voice. He did not reveal what the voice said to him. The report said Minor then asked the rideshare driver to stop so he could exit the vehicle, but Folks didn't. When they reached a red light, Minor attempted to open the door and get out of the car, but he couldn't because it was locked. Minor alleged that then Folks tried to reach into the back seat and he opened fire on the driver and struck him multiple times, including in the head. Moments later, the Atlanta police officer broke the window and left the vehicle. Minor told authorities that he did not have confirmation that the driver was gay, but a witness said the former officer believed that the driver was in a gay fraternity who tried to recruit and kidnap him. Y'all might as well just go ahead and set up the hate crime charges now.
So, all right. Because I read like the earlier, so he's saying this now, he's turning into that. So because I think he just got paranoid.
Yes.
And killed that man.
He got paranoid and killed that man.
Yeah. Because even before you told me that, when I looked at because it was like 1 something in the morning, right?
Yes.
So I'm sure he's over that. He's Ubering. So I'm sure they were drinking or something, right? And just listening to the story, when he said it, just because you hear someone speaking in a different language.
Okay.
Why is that making you feel any type of a way?
And then here's this part that I need clarity on. Mm-hmm. I need clarity on the part where they said during that time, Minor told investigators that he heard a voice.
Yes, that's what I'm
He did not reveal what the voice said to him. Was the voice on the other phone or was it in his head?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because that's where I'm confused. That sounds like a clear case of paranoia, right? Yeah. And he just killed that boy.
But how the paranoia jumped to gay freternity?
Yeah, that's where I was.
Did the dude talk with a twang? What gave you gay fraternity? Right. That's why. If I was I need to call Fanny, because Fanny, we need hate crime charges because you assumed this man was gay, and I feel like by you even mentioning the words gay fraternity, you placed into play that you killed him based on a prejudice of his sexual orientation.
Right. It's stories. Just I wish I could hear more. It seemed like it's some stuff missing because I can't understand. Number one, why would he reach in the back? It's so many different things that don't make sense.
But did he reach in the back?
Right. I just think he got paranoid, and not even the gay stuff. I think drugs, alcohol, whatever. Once he told that guy, for example, I've been in an Uber before, and I'll never forget. We were in it was flooding. Me and CJ were going to an appointment, and I was ready to get out. The guy acted like he wanted to keep going through. I felt like the water was getting too high. It was raining. So twice I said to him, I'm like, you know what? I think maybe we should get out. And twice he ignored me. He was a different nationality. He spoke ethnicity. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry, but I felt he didn't hear me. I never felt like I was in
kidnapped
danger. Yeah. I never felt like I was in danger. Number one, let's keep it. Isn't Lyft? Isn't it tracked? It's GP. I just feel like there's so many holes. This guy just got high, drunk, something.
Yep.
And went off.
It's so unfortunate.
I need to look up too. I was trying to read something. Didn't they say if there was something prior? I don't want to say.
Okay, I got you. Let's go. I got it. Okay. In terms of Minor's background, he was hired as an APD in July 2018. At the time of his arrest, Minor was on unpaid administrative leave after being arrested in Milton in December 2023. An APD news release said, warrants for that arrest show that he was accused of possessing 20 Xanax pills and scheduled in Schedule 5 on him in his car and in a personal bag. The arrest occurred after Minor was driving and got into a single vehicle accident. A warrant stated it was believed that he was impaired at the time of the accident, so he has a history of impairment.
And pills, and that will make it paranoia. Clear case. And I didn't even know, but it just made, when I thought about the time, you're like, all right, if a cop is Ubering, because cops don't cops want to drive, because police will always police. You get what I'm saying? Even when they off duty, they want to be scoping the. Yep. So when I saw the Uber, I'm like, all right, he was they was partying. Then when you start hearing about the different lane, I'm like, let me find out he just got paranoid and killed. Sounds like he got paranoid and just killed that man. And I listened to his mom.
Unfortunate.
It is. And it looks like they're from, I don't know about him, but the mom's from Delaware.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I heard an interview from her. They was calling her. She's in Delaware when she was talking to the little news clip that I saw.
Wow.
The victims.
Yeah.
What's his name? Because I don't feel like
his name is
last name is Folks. I know.
Yes, Reginald.
Reginald Folks. His mother. It was just to hear her. But because I was like, I wonder if he was just. Is it how long he's been in Atlanta? Was he just?
Well, they said he came. Oh, he came to Atlanta to go to college.
Oh my goodness. See, that's hard. That breaks my heart. I don't know what it is. It breaks my heart for someone to lose their life anyway. But when they go somewhere else
for a better life,
right?
He was driving Lyft to try to make additional money. And you would think you'd be safe picking up a cop, though, a black cop.
And see, that's why I don't want to hear nothing about, from us. Right?
Yeah. I
don't want to hear nothing. But that's such a sad story. But I'm like you though. Bring on and now it turns into
it should
be a hate. Absolutely.
Right now, he's currently charged with murder and aggravated assault. But child, baby, Fanny Fonnie. Is it Fonnie?
Right. I think it's Fonnie.
Black people always want to call somebody Fanny.
But then you know that she switch it up too, because we get funny, right?
Yeah, we do get
we
funny.
get funny, like Regine.
I'm Xaviera.
Are we doing a Regine?
I'm Xaviera. You're Karla. Karla. We're Karla and
They've been calling you Sandra all your life, and now you Sandra.
Yeah, right. Okay. Sandra Clark, Sandra. So I'm just like, man, but this is such an unfortunate situation. Listen, just special prayers of protection for all of the rideshare drivers and for the people who are riding in the cars. You know, this was just awful. This is just awful.
And you fired 3. Like, I don't.
And shot him in his head.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
You know he's paranoid too, and this is how clear. Because even after you shot him, right? I know this sounds messed up. You could have easily unlocked the door. Why you bust the window out?
Child.
Did you see where he kicked the window out?
Yes.
Unless he wanted them to believe the kidnap. I guess that has to go along with the. Yeah. That's horrible. That is horrible.
Yep. Something I didn't expect to come out of this story when I initially reported the story on icecreamconvos.com. Kobe Minor, the former Atlanta police officer, has a striking resemblance.
Oh, child. Yes, he do.
To Columbus Short.
That's his cousin. He can lie if he want. They first cousins. They first cousins. But
it is an uncanny and striking resemblance to Columbus Short.
It's scary.
So much so that Columbus Short ended up coming onto our Instagram page and was like, y'all leave me out of this shit. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Because people was like, Columbus, is that you, baby? He said, leave me out of it.
You do have to do it. You have to do a double take.
You literally have to take a. Yes. If you don't even care about the story, go see how much this man looked like Columbus Short.
Yeah,
IceCreamConvos.com.
Straight up.
Ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning into today's podcast. Just a lot to unpack. Karla, thank you always for your insight and your outlook on things.
Thank you,
especially expanding my thought process. But we thank you all for tuning into today's show. We always invite you to be a part of the show. Even if you have some afterthoughts, just drop down in the comments wherever you're listening and share your thoughts, views, and opinions on today's episode. We also encourage you to like and subscribe to the podcast and share it with a friend.
Yes.
And, we're here every week. And we thank you for supporting Ice Cream Convos. And just thank you for support. I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you because y'all know I'm in recovery mode, and it's because of y'all that I'm able to really try to kind of get back on my feet. So I am super and extremely grateful for that. So thank you all so much. Thank you for supporting Karla and I. Karla, you got any parting words for the people?
Just look, it's getting warm. I'm going to just reiterate that about drink, hydrate. Always. Oh, y'all, and please chill out. I'm seeing tempers flare already, and it ain't even hit 90 degrees.
Oh. So y'all can't be out here cutting up, and y'all ain't got y'all cotton panties on yet.
Yeah, there you go. That was gonna be my third thing. I was gonna say.
And I say this in love. Y'all can go ahead and do an extra swipe of deodorant too, baby. I say that with love. One more swipe won't hurt nobody.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid.
All right. Well, we love you guys, and we thank you so much for tuning into today's podcast. We will see you next week, and catch me on Friday or Saturday. I was trying to do it on Friday, but I feel like I'd be falling over to Saturday. But I do my weekly live chat on Facebook.
Lock in, y'all.
Come lock in, have a good time. My grandbaby was my special guest last week, and that is available on YouTube. So definitely check that out. All right. So love you guys. ICC.
We all we got.
Peace.
See ya.
Be still. No.